Hey everybody, what's up? It's Tipping the Scales. I'm back. I'm Shea Dawson.
I'm Tyneeha Rivers. Welcome back, Shea.
Thank
and
you.
Welcome back, Tippers.
Thanks for holding it down. You know, you be holding it down, T.
I have to hold it down for my girl, but I do miss you when you're gone. I dread recording
Doing it by
when you're not
yourself?
here.
I get excited to see what you do. And I was actually very excited to see Brother Muhammad on this last one. That was a surprise because you didn't tell me.
No, listen.
I loved it.
I literally was like 5 minutes before I went on. I was like, "You want to come on?" He's like, "I'm not prepared. I don't know what to say." I was like, "You'll be fine. I'll ask you some questions about our relationship. Just answer them." He's like, "Okay, I guess." He's like, "But I'm nervous."
I love that people were curious though. So you gave the people what they wanted, which is always
it was great because Tika stopped asking me like, "Yeah, he's around, but I'm not going to talk about him every episode."
I know, I was doing the same thing. I was like, I need to stop talking about Nafis. This is Shea and T's podcast.
But when your little heart starts to flutter, you do want to talk about your person. Yeah. So it happens, right?
Exactly.
But I got a juicy topic for us today, actually. And, every juicy topic comes with a story, I feel. So, yeah. So,
let's
juicy
go.
Topic of the day.
Dive into
ready?
It. Yep,
Give me
I'm ready.
That drum roll, that theme, like da-da-da-da.
Ready.
Open relationships.
Oh, snap.
So let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened because people are like out of control.
Okay.
So I went to go visit some friends over the 4th of July weekend down at the shore. And we went over one of their friends' house, Brother Muhammad and I. And I felt like the couple that we were visiting, and remember, this is the first time I'm meeting these people. I don't know them at all. But the wife seemed like super duper flirty, like with Brother Muhammad. I was like, it's not what old girl, like just like, and I was like mad as hell at him because he's just too nice and don't shut people down. So she's like,
that's how I am.
Like
people be mad at me.
That pisses me off. Like chill, like
I'm flirty.
Pipe her down. So the chick was like drinking wine and he was like, wasn't sure if he wanted to wipe. She's like, here, you could taste it.
It gave him his glass and he drank.
I'm not that. He drank out of her glass. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no.
Am I missing something? He was like, oh, I didn't know she was drinking out of the glass. I thought she poured a glass. I was like, well, you should have asked. Like, why would you randomly take drinks from a goddamn stranger? Like, I was like, I know you legit pissed. Okay. But then the husband came over to me and was like, basically telling me how big his junk was. And I was like very appalled and taken back. And I gave him like a nasty ass look like, no, bro. Like, unlike Brother Muhammad, Mr. fucking nice guy, I shut it down where he's like, nah, I don't play that. Like, but come to find out. So I go upstairs to record. And I guess that's when a lot of stuff hit the fan.
Went down?
I walk away for like what, an hour?
Is drama?
like legit. I walk upstairs for an hour to record and he's already mad. Like, why do you got to record today? It's a holiday, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you understand, like Shay's schedule is so busy. She's available. Like, it's so hard to make this happen. Like, I'm stepping away for an hour. It's not forever. Like, I'll be back. Well,
like, honey, we're committed, like, yeah.
Right. So anyway. I get back and old girl that asked, the husband asked him, does he cheat? And he was like, no, no. And then was like complimenting him on his teeth and all this stuff. It's like, so clearly this couple was into swinging, like no doubt about it. They were asking us if we wanted to spend a night. Like it was just wild. And he's saying like, oh, this would be stuff we should be laughing about. You're like mad. Like, no, I'm mad because you're so damn Joe and you don't know how to shut people down. That's why I'm mad, asshole.
And Joe, for those of you who are not from Philly, can mean a lot of different things, but like you geeked, you're too damn excited.
You're
like
too hyped.
You're over the top. Like,
yeah, you need to like simmer it down. Exactly. So that's how I felt. So anyway, this turns into a whole big argument with us. It's like unnecessary drama, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So, but it brings me to this topic. And you will love the debate that him and I had about this topic. And then one of his friends came over and he jumped in. It was just like so juicy. And I was like, oh my God, this is a perfect
we're going to talk about it. We're going to continue
pod, right? So that was a lot said. But when you hear the word open relationship, what does that mean to you and how does that make you feel when you hear it?
Open relationship means that you have an exclusive person. To me, this is to me. Okay. An exclusive person that you're in a relationship with, you're in a partnership with, meaning you may live together, you may be married. That's your sole number one. But you also can have other sexual partners. That's what it means to me.
Right. I think that's what I think that definition is a clear definition of how it may mean to other people.
Right. And there's also like rules within inside of that, right? Like just because you have an open relationship doesn't mean everybody's on limits. It doesn't mean that you need to, like, you could just go do whatever and sleep with whatever. Like there's like rules that you all have to agree to make sure that you're staying safe, that everyone's communicated with, that people aren't getting jealous. Now, the only reason why I know this is because I love and I talk about this a lot with other people. So it's not a shocker to me, but it is
this
a
is why we
juicy
love
topic.
To have Dr. Love, because she comes in with all her gems. I love it.
Yeah, like I obviously am not one to be in an open relationship. For a number of reasons.
Why?
One, because what I know about the human psyche and the human emotions, it's there's no way I could ever spread myself too thin. Yeah. I don't want to have multiple sexual partners. I'd rather not. Yeah. Because I am a soul tie person. And so I'm soul tied to my person. So that's all I want. But again, I don't think that, I mean, the thing is, it's a decision. It's a choice. It's not that everyone could be in an open relationship if they wanted to, right? It's whatever set of rules you have for yourself, your morals, stuff like that. Like also like, it's just too much to be involved with too many people. It's not necessary in my opinion, for myself. Now, do I judge other people? I don't. It doesn't happen in my home. It doesn't affect me regardless if I work with someone who's in an open relationship or not. But I don't want to hear about your juicy details or your drama. So that's not a channel I would subscribe to if that was on television or something. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. So maybe I might ask, but yeah.
And it's definitely interesting. So for me, same thing. For one, I'm too selfish with my person to be sharing my person with anyone else. Like it's all that's all mine. Off limits,
same. All
for
mine.
Sure.
And I'm all theirs. I don't want you dividing. I don't want you telling me about another person.
Right. That I'm all yours. You're all mine. Check. Okay. The second thing to me is when you're in this sexual, like anyone I'm opening myself up to sexually, that's like so, it means a lot. Like it's a very special, purposeful interaction that I take very seriously. And it should be few and far between, right? It's like
literally
someone who I have a special connection with, and I'm not open to having multiple partners. Like that's my person. And you talk about soul ties. I think that that experience is so special, and that special relationship is meant for me to be with one person. So that's just my view.
Agreed.
So
same.
Now, funny story is, so when I asked Brother Muhammad, I said, what do you think about open relationships? His response, 2 words out of 3. Can you think about his? Can you just imagine what he said?
Oh man. No,
fuck
actually I can't.
Here.
Oh, I was going to say.
Fuck out of here was his response. Hold on, bro. Like, I'm not saying that's what I want to do. I'm saying that
you're curious of where he's at. Because he was all flirty. So you wanted to know,
like what? I mean,
you was all up in shorty's face. Like, I'm just trying to figure out you was all in her cup. So what we doing?
Sipping out of her drink. I come back from the podcast. They're at the table. He's not sitting too far from him. She's sending him pictures from like, you know how to do an airdrop of the sunset. Like, what the fuck? I said, so you know me. I said, what are we looking at? Like, I'm very direct. Fuck. So
so funny. But I'm also a friendly type of person, which people can perceive as like
you're
flirty.
Very friendly too.
And I say flirty because like I like a good vibe too. So if I'm vibing with somebody, but at the same time, I know in my head, like, it is what it is. Like, no,
but here's what I
we're
have to
having
say
a
to
fun
you.
time.
Here's what I have to say to you and all those other super unnecessary friendly people is that you know how this night's going to end. You know what this is about. You may give the other person on the other end a different interpretation of what's going on.
Who cares? What does that got to do with what that person thinks?
It matters. Don't give people the wrong interpretation of things. That's what it matters.
That's why you communicate.
Yes, you communicate, but
now there's limits.
I think you got to keep it to a minimum.
Okay, I got you. And I got you. There are guidelines to being friendly and vibey and all that kind of stuff, right? Like,
sit your vibey ass down.
I'm saying, like, obviously, I'm not giving off that I'm single. But, sometimes, you're like, talk with your hands, a little slap here and there. And, like, you get on someone's vibe. Yeah. Now, I get how it could be misconstrued. But at the end of the day, like, you guys came there together. So if he's having a vibe with someone, he's not in an open relationship with you because, you came together. You are together. So, like, yeah. I'm hold on. I'm going against Brother Muhammad has a right to be vibey. You, on the other hand, can't be all tea all the time and is always like, what you doing? Now, sipping out of the cup, that's too much. But I know you, and I know you. So you got to figure out a little happy medium where, let him be him and do his thing. But at the same time, like, you can have a look where y'all like, okay.
I'm fine with that, but I think
I can see the scowl in your face right now, so I don't care what your list is saying.
The scowl came from him drinking out of that chick's cup. That infuriated me, and I had to leave to go film off of that.
She tried to die it down right now, but it's coming out.
No, it will 100% come out. Like, I think you need to pipe down just a smidge. But I think what was crazy was that my friend who took me over there, like, how do you not know your friends? Like,
yeah, that's true.
You guys got to know, like, don't just set me up for craziness. Like, like, to my friend who has known me for a very long time, you know me, what I'm about. Give me a heads up about your freaky ass friends before I go over their house.
Of course.
Okay.
Wait, so did they turn out to be in an open relationship?
We never said anything.
So you never confirmed. Okay.
No, never confirmed. But I told my friend because I was like, I'm out. I was pissed, like, to say the least.
Oh my gosh. See, me, I'm just not like that. Like,
yeah, well, no, I was a little taken aback of him asking for me to go away. It's not just about, like, not withstanding, like, how Brother Muhammad handled the situation, but more so how them, like, I walk away and you ask my guy, do he cheat and all that?
No,
like, that's
okay.
a bit disrespectful.
That's
like,
true.
Let's be
that's
real.
True.
Right?
That's true. That's not a good environment to be in.
Right. Like, behind my back.
I thought you were saying you were mad at Brother Muhammad.
No, I was mad at him, but I was very upset about
being put in that situation
and how they reacted when I left the room. And I think too, as a friend, you should give your friend a heads up.
Yeah, that's actually not thorough. Like,
right.
No, you're right. Like, that's not a thorough situation where you're walking in blindsided, knowing your friend, right. And you also know your friends in a relatively new relationship. So to put you both in that line of fire, that's not thorough. Sorry.
No. And then tell us what it is. Like, don't just have me walk into a situation blinded when it was just way
when you
crazy.
Can avoid that interaction, that energy.
But it made me think, like, some people are into that. And I've known folks before who had neighbors, maybe who were swingers, where they
let's talk about it.
They're open to having sexual relations, or, couples who have threesomes. Like, that's, to me, some type of level of having some type of open relationship. And I don't judge anything. Like, we live in a world where there's just so many differences, and I stay in my lane, but I also will never disrespect someone for what they do and what they decide on any aspects of their lives. And I do think it is interesting. And I was trying to explain, and this is when Brother Muhammad and I got in this debate, because I was trying to explain to him there are situations where I respect their decision, that they're being honest, because how many people have been cheated on or have cheated on someone else because they wanted something else opposed to just being honest and saying, let's call it for what it is. And can we do this? So that for me is I think the component of it that I understand. But he was saying, well, how does that work? What if the other person, you tell the other person, hey, I want to be in an open relationship. And the other person's like, no. Are you ever going to feel comfortable with that person ever again, knowing that person asked you and you said no? And if you are in an open relationship, do you say that right away at the very beginning? Because he would say, I would think that's like not okay to wait 2 years later, like, hey, I want to be open. Like, make your intentions clear from the beginning. So those were some of the things that he said.
Yeah, that's what
him and I talked about. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Like, a lot of people need to be more honest in the beginning and not get into a relationship knowing that they have trouble being monogamous, knowing that they have trouble being with one person in a committed setting where they're either living or it's just that person every day that they're hanging out with. Like, there are people out there who literally know that they can never commit. Like, I was in a relationship where
that's true.
I was really like, please tell me what's going on. And finally that person was honest and said, you know what? I cannot be faithful. And I said, oh my God, thank you.
Thank you for your transparency. I wish you would have told me that from day one.
And you're right. just like Brother Mama said, can you be, you can't be in a relationship with that person anymore. I'm sorry. Like, if I'm not willing to put up with that, that's the end of the road for me. But please give me that option. There are some people out there who might say, you know what? I love that person so much. I might be willing to, go through that. I was not willing to go through that, but I had been so communicative, like, tell me what it is. Tell me what it is. Like, I wasn't upset. I was just like, I'm sensing something here. Like, let's talk it out. Like, let's be adults about this.
Yeah.
So I think that there's just a maturity level and an intentional level, like you said, to say, like, I don't want to hurt another person. Like, I don't, like, if you said it from the beginning, then there's a difference. Now that person, if you get into a relationship and that person's saying, hey, I'm poly, where I'd like to date many people, and you say, well, I love you so much, I just want to try, chances are you might set yourself up for heartbreak, because someone who's polyamorous or open relationship, whatever you want to call it, they have already identified themselves as that. They can change if they want to, but for some reason they're doing this other thing because it suits them, right? So people got to be realistic with themselves and stop hoping and wishing and waiting. That's hoping and waiting and wishing.
Hoping and waiting.
Like, no, like, be real with yourself. Be friends with that person. Don't cross those sexual lines, because if you're not able to handle it. Now, there are people out there who are able to handle it, and kudos to them.
And they do it with, like, on a regular. And
like, I just don't think the world is safe enough to do that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
These days.
That's a whole nother discussion.
I would strongly advise against it. But again, if my friend came to me and said, you know what, Shay, I'm in an open relationship, and I'd say, you know what, I'm happy. If you're happy, I'm freaking happy.
Yeah.
Even if you choose to marry that person. Yeah. Like, but also don't come telling me about your problems.
Wow.
I don't want to hear it, because I'm not a counselor.
Yes. So, well,
good segue.
You are a counselor. We are counselors. You're right. We help people all the time. People always call us for everything. So we actually are counselors.
You're right.
But no, it's a perfect transition, because I was going to say, now, beware of the danger zone that comes, because, again, risk, reward, don't forget about how they are tied hand in hand, right? Right. Mm-hmm. So I've seen these type of situations go very crazy. One, I had a friend who went away on a trip with her husband. I think it was like an island somewhere. And they decided, they was like, oh, we've been together for 10 years. They wanted to spice it up. They had a threesome. Oh boy. I don't know if that girl dropped some jungle juice on him or what, but he was like obsessed with this. Went back, ended up helping her get to a marriage.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that landed in divorce. So that was not great at all. So that was one that I'm aware of. And then I had another person who I went to college with, and we just kind of stayed friends. and they had a threesome. Like she didn't want to, but she did it for her guy. She was like, "Hey, it's not what he really wants, and I'm open to it." Blah blah blah. And he ended up just messing with the chick who he had a threesome with. But now it wasn't like the island situation. It didn't go away. It was like some local chick that he probably sought out, was like, that girl right there.
OMG.
And
let's go look for her at the club.
Let's go find our perfect person.
Yeah.
And he just started feeling her. And they started, having a relationship. Outside of that. And they ended up staying together, but it was just like a hard time because he just wanted more too. Like, you know, so you do have some risk that are involved, that you could potentially catch feelings for this other person. And, it was rumored that Jada and Will had this open marriage for quite some time. And then she started messing with someone and Will lost his mind. And but, because sometimes they were rumored that like Jada caught feelings for this guy.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard too sometimes. I know everyone's different and we're all how we use our sexuality and our connectivity is different for every person. But I do think after a while, for me, I can speak for myself, it's hard for me to be intimate with someone and just shut it off like it's nothing. So I do think that some folks may experience that as well. I just want to make sure that people know that with the reward comes with some risk as well, for sure.
Yeah, I like how you said how you use your sexuality and your connectivity. Because again, like I said, it's a choice, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so, but having the information about people, about humans, if you care, if you're more intentional about it, it can serve you better, right?
Yeah.
I know what I know about humans because I'm very, very involved just in that process. That's why I know I could never do that, because it's so uncertain. Like people change all the time. People evolve, week after week, month after month, year after year, you're someone different.
Absolutely.
So it's just like, even in your own, relationship with just one person, you have to continue to evolve and work on yourself too, because that's when those other thoughts start creeping in. When you go into a relationship one way and you just have the same expectations from the time you met that person, and you look years later and you're like, but when we met, it's like, but I'm different than when we met, and I hope you are too. And so, right? So sometimes people aren't able to manage those things, or even are aware that you need to try and evolve, or you need to notice that that person is evolving, and so are you. So saying that, verbalizing that, communicating that you feel different. Like after the pandemic, I communicated to, my fiance as well, that I feel different. I'm someone else. I am growing. I'm this, I'm that, because I wanted him to know that, like, I know you met me and knew me a certain way back in Philly, but I'm a different person in Atlanta, and a better person, hopefully, for him and for myself. So it's like,
we definitely change over time. Like,
but if you're not changing, then
you're not growing either.
And you're not growing. I'm sorry. Yeah, if you're not growing, then you do kind of open up those thoughts to your partner to kind of like zone off or go into a different place, because you gotta understand that, like, life is a roller coaster. It is a vibe. So if you're just like a grumpy old, complaining old, doing the same old type person, like, nobody wants that. Like, your relationship should be an experience. Yeah. And that's why, I do preach this experience thing, because I know how people are, right? Like, I even see, I guess I even see my mom is a different person than she used to be when I was in high school. Parents different. Growing up. Yeah. So like, I can't be the same daughter I was in high school, and the expectation, like, our relationship has changed. We're more of colleagues now. Like, we have a best friend relationship. Even though she's my mom, I would never disrespect her, ever raise my voice, anything. Like, I would never even challenge her, even if I felt like I could strong arm or anything. But like, just my respect level for my mom is so high. Yeah. But I also know that, like, I gotta continue to evolve and update her in my life too, so that she's not, feeling some type of way. And in relationships, I see how people cheat, like, so I'm going back to our original topic of open and cheating and all that. I see how people cheat because some people get so comfortable, so set in their ways. And even though that's your person, even though it's my person, they're still growing.
Yeah.
I got to watch what they're into. I got to watch where they're, where they're gravitating to. And I got to try and figure out that too. I got to understand those things that they're gravitating to. And I got to kind of know a little bit. Like I want to spice it up the relationship too. But if I'm just staying the same and I expect that person to stay the same, I can't be mad. Like I've been cheated on and I understand why. I understood why. Because of my expectation for that person. I never put that person outside the box. I never saw that person grow past who I thought they were to me.
Yeah.
Like I had my
some
own
level of flexibility. Yeah. And I think given that you giving yourself space to grow, change, and evolve over time, and giving your person that same space to grow and change is just something that's a necessity for the relationship. And it's funny we talk about cheating because when we were, because I think anytime you talk about this whole open relationship thing, it just lends itself to kind of go down that cheating lane.
Yeah.
And I was saying to him, I said, you know what? I said, I'm gonna ask Shea. She has lots of friends too. And he said, if we had a lineup and we put 20 guys in a room. Yeah, so you had a lineup, you put 20 guys in a room.
Okay.
How many of those 20 guys would you say have cheated? What would be your number?
Ooh.
This is good. I can't wait to give you our number.
You said 20?
Yeah.
I would say 19 of the 20.
Oh my God, we are the same person. It's scary. I said 19. Okay.
Yeah, because I know there's people who don't, but it's a hell of a lot of people that do. So.
Okay, great. Fair.
Yeah.
Now, let's move on to, so those are now women. So you put 20 women in a room. And out of those 20, how many would you say have cheated?
Maybe like 17.
Oh, that's a lot higher than what I said. I told him, he's like, no, you can't ask Shea. She's a woman. She's going to be two. I said, no. I'm realistic. Very realistic.
Yeah.
I thought the number was much lower. He said that maybe half.
Okay. And then let's talk about.
He said, out of my respect for women, I would say that at least 10 of those women have at least cheated. I said maybe 5. I don't know.
Because women cheat in different ways.
Well, I told him
women are crafty in their cheating.
I think women are way far more better cheaters. And what I mean by that, they don't get caught.
Yeah.
Way more like guys are sloppy and
but also,
they don't understand the importance.
Their cheating only is like sex.
Right. Yeah.
Women cheat when, so let's talk about, okay. So now we know 19 out of those 20 cheat. Let's break down what that cheating could look like.
Okay.
And then we
love it.
I say 17, you say 5 out of 20.
Let's go half.
Okay. So you're saying 10 out of 20 cheat women. And let's talk about what that cheating looks like. So for me, 19 out of those is sex. It's now there's different type of guys too, right? So there's like guys who are like as Kevin Samuels would say, the 1%ers or the like high value men. They're clearly just they just know they can pick from a lot of things. So they ain't got no interest in being faithful. Like I got money, I'm famous or I'm popular or whatever. I can do what I want. Right?
I have what I want.
Then there's the guy who like doesn't really have anything going for himself and rather like bum off a chick. So they have their chicks all over the city. One that's rich, one that's hood, one that's, from the job, one that's, you know what I mean? Like is not a looker, but she like gives you the emotional support that you need, but you don't tell nobody about her.
Or she may be just amazing in the bedroom. Let's call it what it is.
Or she's an ex, somebody that is familiar, right? So there's like that. And then
familiarity is
right.
Important.
And then there's like that one guy in there that's like, I'm tired. I ain't got time for all that. I was raised this way. I know what I want. I want my one girl. And there's like that. So I feel like that's how I would categorize like the guys. And maybe I'm missing some in there. But then the girls, I feel like we cheat for a whole different reason.
Yeah.
Right?
Emotional sometimes.
Emotional, like support in terms of like just how you take care of something, your how you provide.
Attention.
If it's just not, taken care of, if it's not even talked about, if it's not even paid attention to. And it's never really malicious. It's never really malicious. Like I feel like women don't cheat maliciously. We cheat when there's lack of something.
some.
And lack of acknowledgement of that something.
Because you have some who's just savages and they need a void that needs to be filled.
Or they've been hurt. They've been sexualized early.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. Like where they're just like, I don't operate that way. You know, I have friends that say, I'm like a dude. And I'm like, well, that's not possible. So what happened to you? You know, you're not like a dude, because that's not when, you're not just born like a dude. You know what I mean? Like in terms of how you think and how you move, because it's all different based on, you know, our biology. So,
yeah,
you know, we just cheat for different reasons. And so,
but we cheat. I mean,
women
make
cheat.
no mistake, it happens.
Yeah.
I just am accustomed to think that maybe men cheat more than women. But I do think
and I don't know. I can't really say.
Yeah, that's just.
I feel like we've normalized men cheating more, but again, probably. If women are more sneaky, how would you know the real number?
How would you? That's exactly what he said.
So that's why I said I can't really.
How would you even know? Because I think we are much better at cheating. I think because we're so good at like consistent behavior. Like we love consistency in our relationships.
Yeah.
And I think how men get caught all the time because they become inconsistent.
Yeah.
The things they do, they change. And you can easily spot that. So I do think that that's easy to.
Yeah. And I only could speak from that because like I cheated once in my life and it was horrible. And the reason why I did was because I was so bored out of my mind. But I knew the guy was such a nice guy. But it was just like no way to like tell him that he was boring me to death. Right.
Aww.
And the guy I cheated with was younger. I think like 2 years younger or whatever than him. And it wasn't even like I liked that guy more. It was just like I needed to change. So that's why I say like for women, it's not even about the person, right? It's about more than that. It's about
what's missing, what's something that you need.
Yeah.
That's why I keep going back to attention, because I think there's a certain level of attention that you need, you know, for me as a woman in a relationship. And I think where you're not getting that, there's like a void, like, hey, and then you meet someone and they're giving you that level of attention that you may not be getting. And then it starts off at maybe just a friendship that you guys are cool. And then it kind of manifests into something more because you are like, it's filling that void that you're not getting. You're like, holy shit, this feels good. This is amazing.
Yeah.
But listen, I hope you guys enjoyed this very juicy topic. Again, I just like to end with, we are not professionals in this space. We're just two girlfriends sharing experiences who relate to certain topics. So please don't take our word as this is what it is, because it's not. This is just our opinions and our experiences that we share with you on our wonderful Tipping the Scales podcast. So please don't hit me up and like, what you say? That is wrong. No, girl. Like,
it's for you to take back and discuss it with your circle of friends, right? Exactly. Like this is just topic starters, conversation starters. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, we appreciate you. Please continue to follow Tipping the Scales wherever you get your podcasts. We want to hear from you. If you have a topic, hit us up and let us know. And we are more than happy to entertain. So stay tuned for more.
Hey, peace out.
Bye.